What's up, guys? How's it going? Who's excited for a wonderful bear day today? This is going to be a fun day today. I'm going to give everybody a little guys. How's it going? Sorry, let me turn off the echo. Wonderful. Okay, cool. I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to come join in. When I'm doing a YouTube live through Zoom, it sometimes tends to echo. So I have to turn off my speakers in the background. Okay, I'm so excited to be training today. This is going to be a very fun day for sure. Definitely looking forward to it. Let's give it till 9:05 for everybody to just kind of join in, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, cool. All right. So today is going to be an interesting day. If you guys came to the webinar yesterday about puts and bear trading in general, we talked all about how today could plan out or come about. And I mean, this is like a bear dream come true. Honestly, I did not expect it. I thought we would just have a little fake shakedown or maybe open somewhere over here and then just kind of go higher. So I am definitely looking forward to this gap down. We're going to go look at the 65-minute chart real quick and see what we can come up with over there. The RSI is not super low, but it's not super high either. So we do have lots of room to the downside. I love that there's not really high RSI. I thought there was divergence, but I guess not. I'm wrong, but never mind. Okay, so let's go assess where the gaps are. Okay, we failed this gap pretty royally. I mean, this gap up top was, we really needed to conquer that. And so we failed that. Now we're below the 10 EMA and we're gapping down. So my understanding is that we probably come down to the 440 level. We might have some sort of bounce around 444 level, but then eventually come down to the 440 level. So I don't know if that's going to happen today. That seems a little bit far-fetched with a gap down this big. I know you're not supposed to let other factors in the environment affect your decision in trading. However, I was watching the news earlier, and I mean, I just like to surround myself with what's going on around me, especially related to the trading world. And in the news, they were talking about, everyone's talking about recession coming in and inflation being really high, and now the Fed is caught up, and all of these things that are coming up in the news that kind of sort of seem bearish to me. Everyone in the market is finally saying, hey, let's take a step back. I don't think this is playing out as bullish as we planned on. And so now everybody that's bought over here is going to want to unload some of their shares, or at least look for an exit strategy or something, or some sort of an exit. So now that we're gapping down, I expect a very tiny retracement to the gap up. So maybe we do something like this and then come back down. Usually I expect it to kind of sort of go up to the 236 level, but today I'm hoping that we just kind of go fill that gap and then come back down. I'm truly hoping that we don't just flush at the open, as in we don't just break down at the open, because then that means the rest of the day will just build up getting back up. So I'm really hoping that we get some good shorts around 10-ish, so we can go ahead and place those in. Okay, so we know that there's this gap down here that's open at 444, and so we're just gonna keep an eye on that and leave it at that. Okay, let's go look at the cues real quick and assess that. How's everybody's day going? I just finished running, and so I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I've just been running all day. So, okay, cool. I'm gonna look at the daily chart real quick. The Qs look a little bit. The Qs have always been really, really weak. I mean, tech is just struggling at this point. So the Qs look a little bit more weaker than the SPY, obviously, and we're gonna go find some gap fill areas on it. Okay, so the Qs are kind of sort of opening around this range of the gap fill area, which is great because for our scenario, I wanted to bounce up, retest this neckline of this double top looking thingy, and roll back down. So if we roll back down, I think 348 should be a good level to keep an eye on. We will see how it plays out in a little bit. But at open, I truly think we're just gonna, give me 1 second, guys. I truly think we're just gonna kind of go up and then come back down. So I'm not in a rush to short anything right at open, but I'm definitely keeping a very close eye on lots of things. Let's go look at some of the other things that have been on the uprise lately. So yesterday we talked about a couple of tickers that I absolutely loved and I was keeping an eye on it. I did not plan it to be a gap down today in the morning, so I had to go reassess them. I found a couple more that I thought were interesting. So let's go look at ENPH that I thought was so cool and so interesting. Okay, so if you guys were there yesterday about buying puts, the put webinar that I did, or the bear webinar that I did, this qualifies for all the rules that we mentioned yesterday. ENPH, Enphase Energy, has had a massive run up. We're yapping down below this candle. This is a wonderful, wonderful scenario. My target would be maybe around the 10 EMA because I don't know what's going on, what the news is on this, or is it just gapping down with the overall market? I'm not sure. We would just have to see. I do see this double bottom in play. See that Enphase tends to have large bear candles, so we can expect it to do something spectacular. So maybe we could just trail our stop afterwards. Let's see what a realistic pullback should be like. We're just going to put fibs on this guy right over here, and they're not very accurate, but you get the point. Okay, cool. So right around the 10 EMA, I guess we can go a little bit below the 236 because there's not much risk to reward if we're just taking all at 236. So I plan on doing a bear trade on this guy. Something like this could work wonderfully. Let's see if we can plan this out real quick while I have you guys here. And if you guys have any tickers that you may have been looking at or are wanting to trade or are wondering about, feel free to put it in the chat bin and I will definitely take a look at it and tell you how I plan on trading it. I want to see where my stop can go, probably right over here. I don't want it to go too high. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is put an alert level right over here. Okay, cool. So when this alert level goes off, I'm gonna look for a bear play right around this area. And the reason why I like it so much is because it's had this massive run up, and so I'm just really looking for profit taking. That's all. So that kind of popped up to me. It just seemed a little bit different than the rest of the market. Here's the futures, guys, and futures are, I mean, it's doing exactly the same thing as SPY is doing, but futures come into play when, so let's compare this to SPY real quick. Okay, so here's SPY. And you're seeing this pre-market gap, sure, yes, absolutely. And you kind of get the point, but let's turn on the extended hours. If you want to see a complete data of what's going on, how much volume there is, for example, this wick is definitely fake. If you want a realistic picture of what's going on, you just go over to the futures department and check it out. So here's ES. I swear to God, I've been struggling with this for so long. So in Thinkorswim, where I actually trade futures, it's /ES, but TradingView does not. It just wants me to type in ES. And every time I do, it goes to EverSource Energy. It's just the most annoying thing ever. Okay, so here's a complete picture of what the SPY is doing. So what you see pre-market, and if you wanted to see what happened last night, which pre-market data doesn't show on TradingView, or I think Thinkorswim too, it doesn't show, but if you wanted to check it out that way, here is a great way to do that and kind of see where the bear volume came in, at what time it happened, around 3:30 a.m. And I want to say that is the London Open. I'm not sure, but I want to say that might be the London Open, the UK Open. But anyway, so as you can see, there is this trend line in play. This is a 5-minute chart. Let's go to 15 so we can get a better picture. If you guys were in my futures class yesterday, we had mentioned the 450 to 440 range for something to keep an eye on. And I had alerted you guys in Slack and said, hey guys, we're approaching that range right when we were here. We kind of hovered around it. So let's take a look at it. Okay. So we kind of hovered around this range for a little tiny bit right over here, retested the top again, and then got rejected. So I went ahead and put in a short order that I unfortunately did not get filled on. If you guys are ever wondering, so there happens to be so many trades that I don't get filled on, but I mean, I will go find 2 to 3 good setups that I absolutely love, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work. And I want it to come to terms with me. I don't want to be chasing it. Kind of like buying a house, you know, if I'm the seller in the current markets that we're in, I don't want to come to terms with the buyers. They come meet me because it is a seller's market sort of thing. So that's exactly how I like to play it. And so I don't like to chase things too much. So if it doesn't come to my entry point, I will just leave it alone for a little bit and see if we can get filled. Okay, cool. So this range was definitely something to keep an eye on. We failed that, we retested it, we failed it. And so now we kind of went back down. Now, if you look at this picture right over here, so we're gonna put this range in so you guys can see it better. This channel sort of thing, and okay. All right, so if you look at this area right over here, we came back, retested, and rolled back down. If for all my futures traders, guys, this is where you want to be the trap. Futures are phenomenal for trapping in either direction. So this is where you want to be the trap. We had a bearish consensus. We knew that things were kind of sort of pulling back. We made a lower low with this guy going lower. So now that we made a higher high, this was a wonderful trap. And we just kind of rolled back down. So now my thought process around this is that we come back up to maybe 4,500, retest this area, and then roll back down. So if you wanted to and are brave to take a bullish trade, feel free to. I will just be watching the 4,500 area and seeing where we go from here. If we go higher from here with massive volume, I'm okay trading it bullish or bearish. Either way, doesn't matter. But I think that's how I would like to play it, rather than get caught up in shorting down here. So I just want the prices to come up a little tiny bit more. That's what I meant. So futures are a great way to take a look at what's going on realistically out there in the market. Netflix has been on the list for an inside candle today. And guys, every inside candle that we looked at yesterday is going to be useless today because everything's kind of gapping below. So it's not going to be useless, but it will, we're going to have to wait for the retest of that candle. So what we're going to do on Netflix is, I love that we're opening kind of sort of below the 10 EMA. So I'm going to set an alert right here at the 10 EMA at 380, actually. Let's do that. Okay, so I want to set an alert right over there, and it's kind of, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and once we get there, my alerts are going to go off and I'm going to look to short this guy. I like that we're opening below the 10 EMA. I like that all of these buyers are trapped, that this guy is just about to get taken out. So I'm definitely looking forward to this Netflix short. And I'm okay, honestly, trading it in either direction. But to me, it looks like we're getting rejected by this gap right now, right from here. And so I think the bear bias still stands. It is a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. We had a bullish setup on Netflix, and this is precisely why. So somebody in my Slack channel asked me why I got stopped out earlier. And okay, I see a couple of people saying, hi, good morning. Okay, cool. Good morning, guys. All right, so I asked, somebody asked me why I moved stop. So we had an entry over, I believe, somewhere over here, I want to say. And just humor me for the sake of this example. And target was somewhere over here, and we missed it on this day or this day. We came pretty close and then missed it. So I said, my stop was right down here. And I said, no, you know what? I'm just going to move my stop up a little bit, and got stopped out the very next day. And this is why, because I don't like to be in trades for too long. Now, if I had waited all the way till today, I would have gotten stopped out for a full R. For those of you that don't know what an R is my risk unit. So if I'm risking $500, and saying, if I lose on this trade, I'm going to lose $500, or if I win on this trade, I'm going to make $500 or possibly $1,000, then that's what my R is. It's my risk unit. So sometimes it's easier to get stopped out when you know the chart, the pattern isn't working. And a student of mine took it with me, and I believe he got stopped out as well. So that's wonderful news. Okay, so now that we have this in place, I'm not saying Netflix can't go bullish. I think it definitely can. It's just not in the right time right now. So now that we have this in place, we're just going to look for a better setup. Maybe in about 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully, and this recession news dries out. How amazing is this that our news market, our market is so media driven right now. It's just, I've never seen it happen like this, and I've learned very early on in my trading career that when everybody's jumping on a bandwagon, you run from that. So everyone's talking about recession and inflation and this and that. I truly think that if that were the case, we wouldn't necessarily be talking about recession a year out. That's what they're projecting, and that's what I'm curious about. I've never been a trader during a different era of recession happening, so I don't know if the media was talking about it this far out, this far early on, or if there was chatter about it, just warning people, saying get out of the markets, sort of thing. So I just find it interesting, and I'm going to see what happens and learn and take lessons from here. So yeah, it makes me laugh that we're so news driven. And let's look at this guy real quick. Okay. So I had this on the list because we traded it, and so this was an inside candle. I'm not going to really mess with MU today. I'm going to look at O real quick. Oh, what a beautiful candle. This inverted hammer was just beautiful. I actually wanted to go long on this if we gapped up today, but I believe that ship sailed. So we're going to leave this guy alone. It actually moved pretty well. Yesterday it was pretty liquid. I might add this to my list of things that I'm watching constantly now. Microsoft, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, inside candle. Okay, cool. My really good friend Rhea likes to trade this a lot. And so we are going to look at this guy for her. Microsoft, and we planned this out yesterday. I think, well, we're opening below the 618 range, and I kind of don't like this gap down. It's a little too big for my taste. I want to see it go a little bit higher. So in this case, maybe if we can pull up to the 1618 range, let's adjust this to perfection real quick. Okay, cool. So maybe if we can pull up to the 1618 level and then see how it behaves. If it gets rejected over here, then we can look to short it. So let's add an alert somewhere over here, 306. 673. And we will see what happens here. Etsy was on the list as well. I kind of wanted to trade this bullish. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about it yesterday, but I kind of wanted to trade this bullish, and I think we're sort of gapping down in that area. Everything looks exactly the same, guys. There's just fear out there in the market right now. So everything's gonna look exactly the same. And I really tried to find something that looked a little bit different, and I couldn't come up with anything. So we're just gonna have to live with what we have and work with what we have. So we're gonna see if this thing can go back and retest, and then maybe look for a rollover. In the meantime, I'm gonna get rid of some of these tickers that we're not gonna look at. Okay, cool. Visa is another one that's capping down below the 10 EMA. This is perfection in any which way. I would have wanted to see another bull candle. This candle, if this was bullish, it would have been nice, but we're just gonna see what happens and open. Again, exactly the same, nothing different about this guy either. Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA, has a very, very interesting candle. It's not gapping down completely or massively, and it's in this, let's zoom out a little tiny bit. It's in this level of support. So if things tend to turn around for us, and if we do go for a bull run instead of a bear run, then I think this is a good one to go long on. Otherwise, I mean, I see this head and shoulders, you could spot it from a mile away. So I see this in place, I see it coming, and if we go lower, I'm not going to be super excited to short this guy just yet, because there's been lots of selling on this, and this gap down on earnings has created it. So I would like to go long on it, come to the 10 EMA, and then look for a rollover. So maybe when it comes to the 10 EMA, that could be a good day to short it. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it alone. If we go bullish and if things change, then this would be a good one to go long on, actually. Let's put an alert right around here. 44.11. I mean, I don't think that it's going to do anything massive. I don't expect it to go to 50 today, but certainly a little bit of move here and there. And then EMPH we looked at already. Let's go see what the SPY is doing right now, and what ES is doing real quick. Okay, so this guy, if none of these things pull up and we just kind of flush that open, I mean, I see this bear flag in place right now. Bear flags usually have this rather than this. So I see it in place right now, And maybe even if it can come up to here, that would be nice. But this personally, guys, for me is a little too low to go short on it. We might actually just flush right at open because it just seemed like there was lots of fear out there. And so I'm not sure if we just flush, but according to my rules, I mean, this is a retest gap. So I don't want to go short on anything right at open. I want to give it a chance to come up a little bit, meet us at our price level, and then go lower. I'd be willing to lower my entry to like 44.90, so 449, even on SPY. But besides that, I'm not willing to sacrifice anything else. Let's go add SPY to my list so I can keep an eye on it. And the cues, IWM looked really interesting yesterday as well. So let's keep an eye on that guy as well, and see what we can get with that. I just wish I'd held on to my puts. Oh my God, those puts would have been printing today. Yeah, no, this looks interesting too. Absolutely. I really, really like that we're getting rejected off of this channel. And so I want to see a little bit of buying come in and then look for a rollover. I would really like that. I prefer that a lot more than just going bearish right at open. But this is looking wonderful too. Keep an eye on this guy, guys. If you want to do a swing trade on it, Netflix and Microsoft went off, so let's go look at Netflix. I think it went off because we and ENPH. Okay, cool. I will take a look at it. Okay, let's go look at the 1 minute chart. Netflix is one of my top favorite ones currently, so we're going to keep an eye on this guy a lot more than anything else. ENPH as well. So we just kind of gapped down and we didn't really pull up to our entry level. So we're going to have to set up another alert. Sorry, guys. These are the things that I struggle with on TradingView constantly. No, it's on. I don't know what they said that the alert went off. Okay, we don't have time for this to mess with it. Okay. All right, Netflix is approaching our 377 range. Let's do an entry around 378 while keeping an eye on the SPY. I really like this buying coming in. This is wonderful, wonderful for us. If we want to look at it on the 1 minute chart, the 1 minute just tends to move a little too quickly. Let's keep an eye on this. I want to see what the SPY is doing. Okay, SPY's pulling up to our levels, so that's good. This is good, guys. Buying coming in right now is absolutely good. On Netflix, currently, I don't want to see this candle closing red. I really want this buying to come in first and then trap all the bulls and then go lower. On Netflix, I think this could be a good level of entry. Let's see if we can get filled. No, don't sell off. Okay, let's see if that works out. And then our stops would have to go somewhere over here. That's really wide. I don't like that. It's almost $13 in stoppage, and I don't like that a lot. But we shall see what happens. Come on, Netflix. What's going on with Etsy? Okay, so Etsy kind of pulled up and then is rolling back down to Visa. This guy doesn't even, they don't even want to fill a gap. They're like, what? What gap fill? What happened to ES? I think we collapsed on that bear flag. That's what's happening with SPY too. Yep, we are collapsing on this bear flag, and so I guess that's all the retest that we could have gotten. Maybe a couple points more, and I could have took that short. I actually had an order in the futures ready to fire, but I guess not. I guess it's not going to work out. Okay, so now that we've missed this entry, let's find a better entry. So we want to find one bull candle below the 10 EMA on the 3-minute chart. And if we miss this, we miss this, guys. There's just no way of being super quick about it. This came close to it. So what I'm gonna do is leave you guys here for a second. I'm gonna go set up my entries on Netflix and see if we can get filled over here. I think that ship sailed. We shall see. Let's see what happens. Another thing we haven't looked at is Tesla. And so I want to kind of sort of look at Tesla and see what's going on over there. IWM would have been so wonderful if I just held on to it. Okay, here's Netflix coming back to get us. Let's see if it comes back a little tiny bit. Come on, just give us one green candle, and that would be wonderful. Okay, putting in my order. Oh man, it's just not going to pull back. You can kind of sense, guys, you know what happens? Usually in the mornings, I listen to news and you can kind of sense when they're really creating this fear and things are kind of getting heavy on extreme bull days. You really hear the optimism in their voices, and it just comes down to whether the media is supporting this bull run or not, really, or this bear run or not. Let's go look at Microsoft real quick. And okay, Microsoft is looking good. It's giving us a good setup. You know, this would have been a perfect entry actually on it. Since we've missed that, we could take just 1 second. I just want to make sure something on this. Okay, yeah, we didn't even pull up to the 10 EMA. We just kind of went to the 1618 and got rejected. So this would have been a perfect entry. Let's see what it does on the 3-minute chart. It seems like things are, the overall market is kind of sort of bouncing. Once we set up these trades and have a little bit of downtime, I want to go over a fun strategy that I found yesterday. I was reading a book and it just stood out to me. I thought it was interesting. So I'm going to test it with you guys for the very first time. And it happens to be on a YouTube Live. So let's see if it works or not. Okay, Microsoft, I still kind of sort of like this 1618 level, but if we get there, then I believe things are kind of moving in the positive direction. And so I don't want to chase it too much. Netflix will not wait for us. So I guess we're going to have to end up canceling, because at this point, it's not going to come back to us at 377. And we're kind of sort of at target levels almost. So I think we're just going to have to leave this guy alone. I understand if you're in this trade or if you're wanting to get in, just wait for one green candle on the 3-minute chart and short below that. Could work. Yeah, the 1618 level is at 369.66. So I've missed that rally, and we had to be quick on it when we missed that. So we're gonna go watch Microsoft real quick. Okay. I want this candle to close as a green candle, and then we take it out to the downside. That would be nice. This would have been such perfect entry. We could have even moved our stops down to break even at this point. Oh God, this is when you kick yourself in the head thinking, why did I not take this trade? What else are you guys watching today? What do you recommend my R should be as a beginner, please? Okay, cool. So Irfana, let me tell you something. It depends on how much you're willing to risk. Okay. If your account is, let's say, $30,000 or yeah, $30,000. Let's stick to that. And you are in a trade and you're losing about, let's say, $30. Okay. Would you be able to sleep at night? Absolutely. Because your account's $30,000. I mean, you're losing $30. That's what, 0.10% of your account. So it's not a big deal. You're not going to lose sleep over it. However, if you were if you were in a losing position with a $3,000 loss, that would scare you a little bit, right? And so that's what you have to define. How much risk are you willing to really, really take, and be okay with it? For a long time, my account was a pretty large number, and I was not okay with seeing larger losses, even though my account could accommodate that. I was always afraid of losing a lot more, and so then I reduced my account size, and now my R is 500. I generally just leave it at that. I tried increasing my R to 800, and it just seemed a little bit hard to get to. So I kind of sort of went back to the 500 level, and there's no shame in that. I'm happily admitting that it was a hard level to get to. So yeah, I think a lot of it, and honestly, I mean, if I'm setting up a trade with a $500 R, I could do the exact same thing with an $800 R. It's not rocket science. I get it. It's very simple. However, it just I think psychologically, when I would see losses in the upwards of 1,500, because 2 R's would be 1,600, it just psychologically did not do well with me, and so I would do a lot of silly things out there. And so that's what I mean. It's how much risk are you willing to endure, and how much is your mind okay with losing, and letting you make the right decisions at the right time for that reason. Okay. I hope I've answered your question. I am going to go set up this bearish entry, limit entry, and I really, really like this. If we can get just one green candle over here, that would be nice. We're just looking for another rotation. So this is what we're doing currently. We're just looking for another rotation down. That's it. My target on Microsoft would be 301.73. If you guys want to stick around for that long, if not, we shall go put fibs on yesterday's candle. I'm not sure if this is yesterday's candle or not, but we shall go try that. I think we might have to move our entry down below to the 10 EMA. So I'm going to put my entry at 304.83 with my stop at 306.72. If we can get a chance to get filled. If not, we shall see what happens. Everything's in the red. It's insanity. Just want to check on something real quick over here. Ooh, Thinkorswim, come on. I mean, TradingView, come on. Okay, perfect bear flag breakdown. If anybody wants to short it around this level, I think it can come back and retest this level and then go back down a little bit more. What did Netflix end up doing? Just pooped its pants. That's great. Okay, yay, this is coming up for us. Let's take this, guys. I feel good about this. Might have to move our stop up a little bit. I don't want to get caught up in this whipsaw. So I'm going to move my stop up here to 307.21 and recalculate our things accordingly and take this trade with you guys. Okay, come on, Microsoft. Hurry up. You just want one green candle. I'm going to do it with puts, guys, and not shares. If you're looking to do an options play on this, I'm going to do the 305 puts that are in the money right now at $3. So I'm going to go ahead and put my order in and see if we can get filled. All right. Let's see if we can get filled. And if it goes to our target before it hits our entry, that's going to be not fun. That's when you look at the screen and you scream. I don't know if you guys do this while trading, but I turn into a complete different person. I'm usually very calm and collected. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I'm usually just, you know, not this hyper. And then my husband will watch me trading sometimes and go, oh my God, you turn into a different person when you're trading. And it's true. It's hard to control emotions, especially when you call these trades out loud. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it's just gonna, if it goes to our target higher, it's gonna piss me off, and we're not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be a happy day. However, Etsy looks interesting. If somebody wants to take this trade, it meets all the qualifications. You can certainly trade this in the bearish direction right now. I'm waiting for Microsoft. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. But if you wanted to take a trade right over here at 124.50 and a stop somewhere over here, that could work. I want to give Microsoft a little tiny bit more time to pull up its stocks and see what we can do. See, now the problem is, because we're so close to our target and the 10 EMA has pulled down a lot more, ideally I wanted to get filled on this candle right over here. Just didn't come up to our entry. But because the target is so close and the 10 EMA is so close and our stop has to be so wide and far up above, the problem is I don't have a good risk to reward ratio at this point. At this point, I'm risking a lot more to get a lot less as a profit. And so that to me is a little bit cringeworthy, and I don't like that too much. So I'm just gonna be patient with it and see what other setups we come up with. A lot of people think, oh my God, I missed my chance, and now I'm just gonna never get into it, never get into a trade again, or find an opportunity. Well, let me tell you, my friends, because it did this, it has to come do this at least once, right? It may not go as high as we think it will, but it has to come up. It has to retrace. So let's not chase these things too much. Let's see what happens. Ideally, if you wanted to get really technical about it, wave 3 retraces to the 618 level. So this, we'll just leave it on, okay? And I'll see if it can pull up. If it doesn't retrace to the 618 level, it's really weak. Wave 2, actually, that's what I meant. Wave 2 retraces to the 618 level. And if it doesn't, it's really weak. So let's see if it does. This is a good way to find out how high things can go or how low things can go. And we know that 618 usually tends to be the level of resistance. So if you're looking for that S-curve happening, you could really wait for 305.28. In the meantime, what we're going to do is go look at Tesla. Oh my God, it's one of those odd days that I haven't looked at Tesla in a while. Because that's normally the first thing I look at in the morning. So interesting. Okay, so on Tesla, guys, I
kind of sort of saw this coming. We had this trend line in place and broke out of that trend line pretty badly, which in a bullish direction. So that was good if you were a bull. But yesterday we were kind of hovering around this range, and I thought to myself, I didn't really put it out on Slack, but I thought to myself, oh my God, if we break lower than this, we're going to go retest that trend line. At this point, we're below that trend line. And if this level does not act as support, we can very easily come fill this gap. I think Tesla can do that today. That's why I love trading Tesla so much, because it just has that movement. You know, it can move quite a bit really in a day. And so you have a lot of ways to move your stops, and you don't have to be stuck in a place all the time. So, okay. So let's go look at this guy, and keep in mind this blue line is the trend line over here. So let's see if we can get a move in Tesla. Maybe up to here. Let's see where the 5-minute remains. Somewhere over here. I just don't want it to pull up this much to 1074. That would be a little bit more bullish, in my opinion. Okay, this thing's just collapsing. It's just, there's no coming back to it. Ooh, Microsoft is coming back for us, I think. Looks very similar to Tesla, actually. Oh, come on. Just a little more strength. Where are all the buyers? This is insanity. This isn't even a pullback. It's just, I think it can go a lot lower than our target too. I don't know if I want to set up a bear trade all the way down here. That would just be chasing it. What do you guys think? I got 1.4 strike on Tesla. Yes, Jenny is the bomb when it comes to Tesla trading. I love it. This is so cool. I'm so proud of you, Jenny. That's awesome. Yeah, but I mean, the bias was bearish. So if we wanted to take a trade on Tesla right now, we certainly could. Let's see where the RSI is. Not very high. I wanted to pull up a little tiny bit more, at least to 1061. I just don't want to, because I have to do it with options, I don't want to get caught up in it. And then it does this and then comes back down. I don't want to be in it all day. That's what I mean. In and out. I want to be like Jenny, just boss trader. Yeah, this was, I mean, you could see this coming from a mile away, right? Like, it's just so predictable on Tesla. Everyone that's been buying is wanting to get out now because the markets are kind of scary right now. So this could go as a stop, and I like this $20 risk reward. That's the problem with Tesla, you know. But then you know, if you're thinking about it, and your R is 500 to that matter, and you have a $20 stop, you could do what, 4 shares? I'm sorry, I'm Indian and I'm supposed to know this really, really well. 500 divided by 20. 25 shares. Okay, cool. Yeah, I normally do Tesla with puts. I am the absolute worst at math. I defy all of my Indian genes. I suck at technology and am terrible at math. So yeah, I'm the wrong kind of Indian. That's what I like to tell people. But 25 shares. So if you think about it, even if your R is 500, you only need about 25 shares to trade Tesla with. Now, one may ask, well, how do you do that with a small account? My accounts are not that large to be able to afford 25 shares while being in other trades at the same time. So that's why I like to trade options a lot, friends, and I like to buy puts on it. Normally, I can afford 2 to 3 puts, especially on later on in the week, so around Wednesdays through Fridays, I can afford 3 puts. I mean, with the obviously with the fact that I can lose a lot more than 500, and I have to have some sort of knowledge on puts. But I like trading options a lot more because I can really get a lot more out of my money, out of my, so I guess the investment that I'm putting in, I get a lot more out of it. So risk remains the same. But okay, cool. Let's go see Microsoft real quick and see if we need to cancel it. Yeah, guys, it's so close to my target. I'm not gonna be in it. Although I can see this coming down a lot more. So if you guys want to be in it, great. I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel this trade. Too bad we missed it. We were chasing the wrong thing, I guess. I really like Tesla here if it can just bottom out a little tiny bit and go up and get us. Instinctively, I knew today was not the day to wait too much, but I don't want to chase. And those are the days where I get into the most amount of trouble, where I chase too many things at the same time. So I'm just gonna be patient with it. Netflix, oh, what a beast. I want to go look at Shopify real quick and then NVIDIA and see what they're doing. Viewers. So if you guys want, we could just look at specific tickers for swing trading and day trading, and that's about it. So we don't have to go look through and scan the whole entire market. I don't know if you guys would be up for that, but yeah, if you guys agree to it, do let me know, and then that way we don't have to chase too many things all at once. Okay, let's get a look at shop real quick. So this was, okay, all right. So this was a swing trade that I had set up and got out yesterday. Well, got out, trailed out. That's what I mean, because it moved myself to break even. But it was looking really good for like a day and could go to my target, but then did not work out. Prime example of you want to be a seller on today's candle, not yesterday's, or not on this day, or not on this day. I'm just not going to meet that many sellers. Now, per buyer, there's 3 sellers, because there's short sellers stepping in, like me and you, that are looking to short it. And there's people taking their profits because they're freaking out and they're saying, oh my God, everything's collapsing. So per share, per long share, there's at least 3 sellers now. 3 is an imaginary number, by the way. I did not do the math on it or come up with the exact math on it, but that's what I mean. There's just, a lot more selling. You get the point. Okay. I'm going to give this guy one last chance to see if it wants to pull up a tiny little bit. It's canceled in my phone, but we will see. Jenny says hold on, let me see what she says. Tesla's kicked my backside lately. Well, hey, I mean, at least you're getting somewhere with it. You're making all the R's. Lately, all the posts that I see from you in Slack are all about Tesla. So you're getting it back. Revenge trading, girlfriend, is the best kind of trading when you're winning. Absolutely. But the key word is when you're winning. Twitter is the only green thing holding the markets up. I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but I guess this thing's crazy. Yeah, the only green thing holding the markets up. Okay, I think everything is kind of sort of getting that balance that we were looking for. ES is certainly pulling up, which is the same exact thing as SPY. So if you look at the SPY, We're certainly trying to come up. So we will see what happens. This was my target on SPY, and these fibs, guys, have been in here for a long time. So around 444 was my target, or 443 range was my target for a short. So if you bought a put on this day, if you bought a put on this day, today would be the day that you would exit it if we hit the 443, 444 range, because that's where 382 level is. And then tomorrow we could have a small little bounce area and then come back down again to the 0.5 level. It depends on how big our candle is today. Depends on really how much selling and how much fear is out there, really. And then we shall see. I did not want to see this come in where we just poop our pants out open and then the rest of the day slowly build back to come back up. So normally what happens is if we just do this, then the rest of the day we'll just kind of come back up and try really hard to come back. Sometimes we make it all the way till here. Sometimes we barely make it till here. But either way, I just didn't want to see this happen. And I think it looks like that's what the day is going to look like. So if you guys, for all of my bull traders that enjoy this a lot more and aren't in Australia, unlike Jenny, can definitely look for some sort of reversals in the afternoon after we've dipped down to this level and see if we can get some sort of bounce. Let's see what Tesla's doing. I think the time to be in Tesla was quite early on. And if we missed it, we missed it. Yep. This thing is going to it's gonna go fill that gap for sure. I don't know if it'll happen today, but see, I don't feel comfortable doing this right now. I don't feel comfortable shorting it right now. Looks like it's in a wave 3. To me, it could come back up, go back down a lot more, come back up, and then go back down a little bit more. So yeah, I don't want to chase it too much. Netflix, I wish there was a way to just remove these tickers from your search and just never go back and look at it again. These are, guys, these are the exact conversations I have with myself in my head when I'm trading by myself. I wonder if other traders do this. If you do, feel free to comment, because I really want to know if you guys think like this and you know, kind of get mad at tickers and missing it or chasing something and have these conversations in your head. It's just always interesting to see other people behave just as silly as you do sometimes. I'm just looking for confirmation that I'm not I haven't lost it entirely. Okay, cool. So let's go look at WBA real quick and see what happens here. Yeah, see, I was right. I wasn't dipping a lot more, and I don't know if there's news on it or not, but it just wasn't dipping as much. So I guess we didn't kind of have that bullish momentum in the market, but if we did, I'm pretty sure that we could have gone back up to the 10 EMA. So early on, you just get that feeling, you know, like where the rest of the market was opening over here, Walgreens was opening somewhere over here, which is interesting to see. So yeah, Walgreens and Twitter, the only two things that are green. Let's go look at Twitter again. And well, I guess no, not anymore. It gave up. We could look at this guy. Twitter went ahead and filled that gap perfectly. Do you guys see that? Look how beautiful that is. And then, well, the gap fill area is essentially over here, and it just kind of adapts. So we didn't go exactly up to the gap fill area, but I mean, I tried. If you wanted to short this guy, I could see this coming into play. This is a 3-minute chart. I could see this working out. So and then our stop can go somewhere over here, and based on that, it is about $1.50. So we'd be looking for $3 move down. Or even if we can get $1.50, that would be nice. 48.70. That's what we'd be looking for. No, 48. Let's just 1 second. $47.80. That's what we'd be looking for. That's achievable. I think we can get there. Let's see if we can do this guy. Just don't want to show up too late to the party. So that's why my entry is a little bit lower than where you would normally put it. Okay. All right. The worst case that can happen to us right now is that we just flush, get filled, and then this thing bounces as a double bottom. But if it doesn't, and we end up with a couple of green candles along the way down, that could be interesting. I'm gonna go set this up and see if we can get filled on it. Yeah, this is definitely achievable. Absolutely. Yeah, looks good. On the daily chart, it looks good to me. What on this on Netflix, what on this on Microsoft. Microsoft actually is holding up pretty well, you know, comparatively. Like some of the other things just pooped its pants. This guy is doing a little tiny bit better comparatively. So I like that a lot more. Yeah, it's trying to come back up. I think another move down, and then we can see some sort of reversals back in the market. WBA, we're not going to look at too much. Let's look at IWM. Oh my God, this is so sad. I had a 205 put yesterday. I sold it at, I believe, $2.20. And today I bet it's like $5 probably. I don't know, $3 for sure at least. So yeah. What else are you guys looking at? These we had all these. So today is not a very good day to be playing the inside candles specifically. And I'll tell you why. Because everybody just sold off right at the open. So two things can normally happen. If there's fear out there in the market, if there's panic and everyone's just panicking and saying, oh my God. And I bet there was a meeting today probably with a Fed something. Usually happens on Wednesday. So I know there's something going on in the market. So it's a panic sell-off. Okay. Two things can happen. We either poop our pants or we have a little bit of a gap down. So we go fill that gap and then come back down. I think today would have been the perfect day to just poop our pants. I was hoping that wouldn't have been the case, but you just don't want to chase too much. And so, yeah, but today's not a good example of inside candles. Usually inside candles get retested and then come back down. So if you're trading inside candles, don't set your examples based on today's trading style. Okay, cool. That's in play. What happened to Tesla? Let's see if Tesla came back up. Nope. Jenny, you should have stayed in this a lot longer. Honestly, I think we go fill this gap. Really, I'm not even making it up. I think we truly go fill this gap at 10-12. That's where I would look to get out, or 10-15 probably. just so you can be safe and get filled, and then it bounces. That's okay, but yeah, yeah, should have stayed in. I think it can come down a lot more. On the 15-minute chart, though, I still have hope. I still feel like we can get filled over here. So I'm not going to get FOMO'd into this and enter this trade and be all sad about it. But this looks fantastic, you guys. On the 15, I still have hope. I hope I can get filled and then come back down a little bit more. Please, dear Lord, let us get filled. All right, so here's a fun strategy that I found. It was pretty cool. So let's go explore it. Does anybody want to throw in a ticker? I'm going to go get some water real quick while I'll give you guys a chance to throw in a ticker on our chat pane. And once you guys do, we will go explore that. I'm just going to be right back. Just grab some water and come right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Jenny says, I'm looking at Zim. Ron says, I'm watching all my bull trades getting stopped out. I know, Ron, it sucks to look at the markets every single day. Honestly, if you have longer term trades, by longer term, I mean if you're going to hold for 3 to 6 months, you have to determine which trade you're going to be for that long, right? So for example, I have been a true Tesla trader long-term and day trading wise. So for example, I know that my buying limit on Tesla is somewhere around here, around 900. So once it gets there, I will undoubtedly buy a whole bunch of Tesla. I also buy 1 share of Tesla every single time it touches the 10 EMA. So I plan for it, right? Over here, I stopped buying it. Over here, I stopped buying it because it was just doing the sideways movement. And I'm like, I don't have enough money in my account to buy that many shares of Tesla every time it touches the 10 EMA. However, on a trend like this, every time it touches the 10 EMA, so I bought one yesterday, even though it's super high, and I know we're pulling back, but rules are rules. So this is long-term holds, okay? And so I can plan for it, right? Like yesterday, or the day before, it kind of sort of looked like we were going to touch the 10 EMA. I had zero doubts in my mind that we were going to touch the 10 EMA. So I have to plan for it. So I bought 1 share over here yesterday. This is today's candle. So about 1 share over here yesterday, and just plan for it. Really make that money in your day trading account, and then move it over to your long-term account. But hold on to it. But this, my friend, is a trade that I plan on sticking to for, I don't know, for God, next 20 years, maybe next 30 years. I'll just hold on to it. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. Too bad I missed it. But think about it. But if this turns into the next, I don't know, unicorn, and Elon Musk takes over a million other companies, or Tesla does something spectacular, that's going to be wonderful for my long-term investment. However, I am not being the person that says, oh, I can't buy it because it's so high up. I know it's high, but that's how you get a dollar cost average. It's just rules. I buy 1 share of SPY every week, just to accumulate, because I think, so I've missed out on so many rallies. Really, I've missed out on so much in general,
because I had this bias against the market and just said, okay, well, it's the price is too high and I'm not buying anything. And that way I missed out on all of the COVID rally, all of the Trump tariff rally, all of it. And I just had this bias. I said, okay, no, the elections are going to come in and we're going to have a dip and that's when I'm going to buy. So I had all this money set aside for it, and none of that ever happened. So I just decided that I need to accumulate for long-term holds a tiny little bit. If I kept buying one share of SPY every week, over 2 years, I will have 100 shares of SPY. That's not bad, really. That's really not that bad. So, and I think of this like my savings account. I put money aside on my savings account. Instead, I will do this. So yeah, but then that's something that I would just never take a look at. So if your long-term account or if your swing trading account is something that's not that long-term, then I would say define your stops pretty. Today might be the day to define your stops a little bit more. I'm not saying you should get out of your trades, no, but I would just say take a look at your stops and make sure they're in the right places, and then come back and reassess. Okay, I see no tickers being thrown out over here. And Irfana says Disney. Okay, cool. Let's look at Disney. Disney, yay! Having a wonderful day. Disney's just been on a struggle bus. I mean, if this level goes on Disney, we're looking at discounts. Okay, so we're gonna pick the 1 minute chart because this is a day trading class, okay? And I am going to get rid of all of my indicators. Okay, cool. Now that we have that in play, let's go add some indicators. So we're looking for EMAs, the 10, 20, and 50. That's all I want. Where did that go? Oh, I had it in place. Okay. All right. Okay. So inputs. All right. All of it looks good. Just want them to be different colored. Hold on. Just 1 second, guys. All right. Green, red, and purple. Okay. That's good. So the purple one is the 50. The red one is the 20, and the green one is the 10. Okay, so for the sake of our trading strategy right now, they're stacked correctly, where the largest one is, wait a minute, why is this happening? I don't know what this purple line is, so we're just gonna ignore that. I'm thinking this is the 50 EMA. Figure this out. Okay, there we go. Okay, awesome. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the largest one is the 50. This is the 20, and this is the 10. And for our bear scenario, this is working out fairly well. Okay. If we were looking to trade it in the bull scenario, then we would have the purple one all the way down, the red one still in the middle, and then the green one on the top. I hope you guys are still following and keeping up with me. This is a wonderful 1 minute chart strategy. So what we're going to do is set up a trade every time, just a scout, really, on the 1 minute chart. Every time it pierces through the green line, bearish, obviously, because the trend is bearish, or the red line, okay? This is where all the newbies are going to be saying, oh my God, we're going higher. It's turning out to be a double bottom, which it could, very well could. We could get stopped out. Again, there's no way out, there's no way to tell if we're going to get stopped out or not. But every time it touches the green line or the red line, it's valid. Although in this scenario, it looks like the green line is coming over the red line. So we may not be able to set up this trade, but somewhere over here could have been a perfect scalp. So something below this, and you're literally going to put your stop above the green line and your entry somewhere over here. If this is too fast on the 1 minute chart, we can do it on the 3 minute chart too. Purple line is the absolute stop. So if something touches a purple line, so let's say if we're in this bear trade and we touch the purple line, then that's invalidated. Then things are going to reverse in the bull direction. And then when it reverses, I'm just going to wait for the green line to be stacked up on top of this guy, the red line to come in the middle, and then the purple line to go in the middle. Now, every time the candles come touch the green line again, I'm going to set up a bull trade to go along on it. I hope that makes sense. We're gonna play with a couple of examples and see if it works. But that's just been my plan, and I've been looking at this. I kind of came across it yesterday, so I haven't been looking at it too long. But I understand the thought process behind it. It's just like Momo, but with 3 different tickers. 3 different indicators, and you're really just not getting trapped as much as you would in Momo. So I think we can keep up with that and follow along. Does anybody have any questions? Does it sound confusing? If you do, feel free to type it in and I will go over it. I'm going to go look at another ticker that we can do this on. Let's see. So Disney, we know, is trying a little bit for a reversal. Let's see if we can find something else. But here, it's just a good way to scalp here and there and get a trade in. Yeah, it went away. Hold on. That's what we're going to call it. Okay. Now let's go look at Facebook. Okay. How about this? Let's see on the 1 minute chart and see if this is, yep, this is reversing too. So that doesn't mean we're going bullish on this. We still want the green line stacked up the right way on the very top, the red line in the middle, and then the purple line on the bottom. So here's a good example, guys. Let's go find examples, and then I will decide if it's a good one or not. But something like this, right? This touches a green line, so you're going to go long after this candle. It's a 1 minute candle, so it's going to take you a while to enter your trade and your stops and all of that in place. So you're going to get in over here, and then you're going to look to make about 1 R. So, or even half an hour, because it's a brand new strategy and I'm not too familiar with it. I would say maybe do half an hour. So if you are wanting to make, let's say, $250 in a trade, but $500 in a trade, risk, 500 or 250 for that matter. Reduce your R for this strategy. So here's a great example of what I mean. So this is where all the newbies will go, oh my God, okay, this is reversing, and then it's not really reversing. We're just kind of touching the middle one and then going higher. That's it. So that's how I felt like that's what I felt like it was happening on Disney earlier, but I guess not. We're reversing because the green line is taking over the red line. Now, if we go a little bit lower, I'd be okay with shorting it, actually. Because that's what would tell me that that's a trap. So let's go check out on Disney, because I know Facebook is definitely doing that. So on Disney, this guy's already crossed. So that tells me to stay away from it. I hope this makes sense to you guys, and I'm not just throwing it out there, but if you guys have any questions on it, please feel free to ask me about it. But I really like that. Just gives you a sure shot clarity. We should have been looking at this a lot more earlier. And see if we could have gotten a trade in. Okay, so on Tesla too, it's doing that. It's trying to reverse. Now, I am not a buyer until I see this entire thing reversed. Okay, so until I see this guy on the bottom and the rest of it on top, because I just don't want to get trapped in something like this, where it's a bear channel, a bear flag, and we're just getting trapped. So I'm not a buyer until I am for sure convinced that things have reversed. When things reverse, though, how amazing is this? This is a 1 minute chart. I mean, it's pretty quick, right? So let's see over here, it reversed. So you got in over here, or even over here, it pierced through over here. So you got in over here. This wouldn't have been a very, very good, big, rewarding kind of thing, but it could have worked. Let's see if it works on a 3 minute chart. I need to back test this a little bit more. So this is a good example of what I mean, guys. Earlier when I said, I don't want to be a buyer until I see like a solid reversal happen. In this case, I don't want to be a seller until I see a solid reversal happen. So now with this candle, it's confirmed that this reversal is in play now. And so here is our chance to get back in bearish. Here's our chance to get back in bearish. And that's about it. Here's another one that you could have taken. And that's about it. Over here is a great one that you could have taken to the bull side. Now, this is just something I am working on developing. I have not back tested it, so I'm planning on doing it. And then I will let you guys know what my results are. But I just thought it was really, really interesting. So if you guys are not doing the 10 EMA or confused by it, here's another strategy that you could definitely work with. Here's a good example of everybody thinking, oh, we're going to crash now because lower high came in and then it just turns into a double bottom. So you could still go long over here and make money on it. This is a 3 minute chart, so if you're not quick enough to do it on the 1 minute chart or don't like it as much on the 1 minute chart, you could certainly use the 3 minute or the 2 minute for that matter. Good example of a reversal. Let's go look at it on Facebook. Oh yeah, this is good. Guys, so let's do this. I'm not going to really trade this. I'm not going to set it up because I won't have enough time to do it right now. But we're going to see if we can win on this. Okay, that's where your stop would be. And see if it works, or if we just get trapped in sideways momentum. You can trail your stops after a certain bit, or you can take all. I just like to take all, so I will get out over here if it works out. If somebody wanted to paper trade this, you're more than welcome to. I just won't have enough time to set it up, so I'm not going to do that. But if this is a cool way to scalp here and there, and see if it works. This is interesting to me. I just like I like to watch reversals a lot. So I'm a bull trader
in a bear market and a bear trader in a bull market, which is just terrible. Rebellion. That's who I am. Oh, it looks like it's gonna work. Yay! Yeah, Facebook's been on the struggle bus for a while. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you'd think by now it's definitely gonna go fill that gap, or at least go close to that gap. It hasn't. Okay. Let's see. If it works out. Let's go see if Tesla reversed. Yep, Tesla did too. So now it looks like a little double top, and if you wanted to, you could have your stop right here and your target maybe down here. Something very similar to Facebook, of course. Let's see what Disney did. Disney actually is looking for that reversal into the bull zone. Now, what happens if it reverses and turns bullish? Would you trade it bullish? Yeah, 100%. Paper trade it. See if this works. See if you like this strategy. I think Disney's really trying to do something spectacular. Let's go look at NVIDIA. We're gonna go look at NVIDIA real quick. Oh, sorry, typed it in wrong. Yeah, see, this is what we want to see Facebook do. We want to see this happen. NVIDIA has been the weakest kid on the block. So 241 is my level to accumulate some shares. And so I'm going to start buying some shares on NVIDIA for my long-term hold, but it's just been weak sauce bill. That's what it's been. It's the weakest sauce out there. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time, see if we can get to 241 today, and then take it from there. But yeah, so what I meant earlier on Facebook was this is what I want to see it do. Just immediate flush down to make a new low. You know, we're just kind of trapped a bunch of people. This is not really doing that, but so at this point, I would either move my stop above the red 20 EMA, or I would move my stops to break even if it's not going to work. Because see, if this green line goes above the red, we're actually just going to reverse. So you can reduce your losses. At this point, I would just move my stop to break even or to do this. I want to see it make a new low, but it didn't do that. So we're just going to wait and see what happens next. Awfully close. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy. Let's go see what Twitter ended up doing. Twitter did not. No, it's just flying. That tells me, you know, on a bear day like this, if it's going higher, that tells you something, right? It just shows you how much strength there is. There's a lot of belief behind this company, and so you don't want to be shorting this anytime soon. You want to wait for a lot more people to come in, a lot more interest to come in. Look at Microsoft, where it's just mocking me at this point. All right, guys, so if the markets are going to be slow, I'm going to wrap up this live. Keep an eye out on Disney and see if we can get that reversal. If we do, that would be wonderful. I might be able to, so if you guys follow me on my social media, anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
I will see if any of these reversals happen, and I will keep you guys posted on it. So keep checking on that. And as always, if you guys can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be awesome. But until then, oh, I have another exciting news, guys. So I plan on doing these YouTube lives every Monday and Wednesday from here on. So next Monday, we will do another one just like this. And so if you guys want to come trade with me or find trade setups or have questions or strategies that you want to learn just like this one, feel free to hop on over. I would love to hang out with you guys. I'm doing this by myself anyway, so might as well hang out with you and do it. But yeah, until then, guys, I'm going to wrap it up over here, and I will see you guys next Monday. Goodbye.